Hello, everyone. This is Pisces night for poetry. The moon in Pisces, and I just have two and a little discussion. And I'm sitting here by the window on the bench, and the window, I guess, that is the symbolism of one's window on the world. I'm getting ready for my new progressed ascendant soon, which will be Pisces. And being that the ascendant is your window on the world, I thought this would be appropriate. I'm trying to really get in touch with my Pisces since mine is intercepted. Of course, at 67, you'd think I, would have been able to do that to a decent degree already. But okay. So, one of the poems that I have is actually the lyrics from a song, and it's my new favorite song over the past many months. Song by Pearl Jam, Garden. If any of you are familiar, I hope you enjoy this. I might play it on my phone at the end. I can't put music on my videos yet. I don't know how to do that. But okay. So here we go. The direction of the eye, so misleading. The defection of the soul, nauseously quick. I don't question our existence. I just question our modern needs. I will walk with my hands bound. I will walk with my face blood. I will walk with my shadow flag into your garden of stone. After all is done, we're still alone. I won't be taken. Yet I'll go with my hands bound. I will walk with my face blood. I will walk with my shadow flag into your garden of stone. I don't show, I don't share, I don't need what you have to give. Oh, I will walk with my hands bound. I will walk with my face blood. I will walk with my shadow flag into your garden of stone. Garden, oh, I will walk with my hands bound, with my face blood into your garden of stone. Now, what does that really stand for? What is he talking about? I think we did cover this before, but this song and these words are so perfect for our time. The Garden of Stone are our cities, towns, full of cement. And what that represents is how the human species tries to separate themselves so much from nature that we build this thick, heavy wall under us, around us, over us, and create this barrier to nature. The first line, the direction of the eye, that kind of relates to especially our current age of propaganda. Look over here so that you don't see over there. The propaganda that's put forward, even on some of the not mainstream, but some of the stations I watch, some of the channels that I watch for news, and that's not what I depend on solely, trust me. But yeah, I have heard little snippets, even on the better, not best, but the better channels for news, where they're presenting like this whole thing about Trump's not releasing, or Pam Bondi not releasing the Epstein files. And even on MSNBC, they're saying, well, if there's nothing there, how are they going to show it. Well, who said there's nothing there? Just because they're not releasing it doesn't mean there's nothing there. It just means that they don't want people to see who was there on the list. I mean, it could be that there's nothing, but I don't think so. I mean, it's more likely that they're not releasing it because certain people don't want it to be known that they were on the list, especially Trump. So I just this is my favorite song right now, and those words in this song are so perfect. And when it says, I will walk with my face blood, I will walk with my hands bound, I will walk with my shadow flag, it's stating what people will sacrifice, even though they have to live in the system. That's what it's talking about. I will go. You can't force me. Don't touch me because I have to go. I'm living in the system, but don't put your hands on me. You know, it is really sad that the only way to survive right now in this country and many of the developed countries is to live within the system. Now, it's a matter of degree. You don't have to live in the system to the same degree that's expected or that is uh, to compete with others to see how much of the system you can manipulate and how much of the system you can take from. Uh, what you can do is work to extricate yourself as much as possible and still exist on a halfway decent level. Everyone has to have health care. You have to raise your kids. And it's really hard when it comes to kids because you're trying to balance and juggle. Well, do I go ahead and expect them to go on to college and help them get a degree when actually, you know, I think that college is not just about making a living. I mean, originally college or higher learning, the masters of old, Socrates, Plato, they were about questioning and expanding the mind. That is Sagittarius. Okay, so we are nothing if we don't expand our minds. And that does not mean just training the mind to make a paycheck. Okay. So, obtaining a profession, okay, but what kind of profession? Are we still going to push people to get business degrees, MBAs? Or if we do set up our children to be able to go do that, how what's going to happen when these structures by which civilization functions start crumbling even more than they already now faster? I mean, if you knew the science of what's going on in ecological terms, it's a real conundrum because you don't want to set your kids up to think that they're going to live one kind of life and actually they're going to be way down here trying to survive, struggle day to day. But yet to not provide that institutionalized lifestyle uh, direction, the direction for that is that neglect with your children. I'm facing this. Okay, uh, my kids are already in college or have finished, or they both have finished, but uh, one I had raised with some of the understanding of the science, and she wishes that I had not done that. but maybe I didn't do enough of it. I think that's the problem. But yeah, it's difficult juggling what to do about your children. People are looking forward into the world and thinking, okay, my kids need a college education. They do. They do. But it's for expanding the mind. Okay. And you can teach your kids hands on practical skills. And they can do that to some extent with learning the humanities and concept of law, concepts of democracy. They can learn it alongside their artistic endeavors. But it's a balancing act. You could do both. But I really do think that we orient ourselves way too much on the whole paycheck orientation of education. The whole thing about STEM, I was kind of understanding that for the longest time because it's important in a sense of teaching logic and like with the math and everything. I was never very good at that. I mean, I learned slowly and I was grasping it as I went back to college, but the the emphasis on that is mainly to run the kind of civilization we have now, which is not what we're going to have. It doesn't mean you have to throw some of that out with the baby with the bathwater. It just means we need to reorient ourselves toward questioning the way we live in our existence and why we're here. What is our species really about? Our species knows nothing about what the world really is. Not really. The more we learn science, the more we realize what we don't know. Okay, we focus way too much on the Virgo, the pieces, and not enough on the Pisces, the whole. And I think we've talked about this before. Just like I think I've read that poem before, but that poem is like a foundation for me now. We are facing extinction. And if you have not learned about this yet, you need to do that. It will help you. If you need assistance in some ways through therapy, I would suggest you do that. But there is no way that with what's going on, you can get through the cognitive dissonance trying to live your life in a normal way. Go to work, get groceries, clean your house, take your kids to sports, whatever. Or if you're already your kids are already grown, to go and be with your friends or your social groups and be doing your career path that you started ages ago, and maybe you're getting ready to retire or you already have retired, and yet at the same time you see it all crumbling. You can feel it if you pay attention. So if I were you, learning as much about this as you can is going to help you. It may be difficult to grasp the science at times. Learn it with a friend who's more science oriented. And then the two of you can work together to understand from both ends, the Pisces Virgo. Now, I have another poem. Okay, so this gives a little bit of an idea about mass production of our world. Okay, so let me go to this. Particulate matter. Molly Fisk. This person was in the campfire in 2018, and this is the poem she wrote about that. If all you counted were tires on the cars left in driveways and stranded beside the roads, melted dashboards and taillight oil pans, window glass, seatbelt clasp, the propane tanks in everyone's yard, though we didn't hear them explode. R13 insulation, paint inside and out, the liquor store's plastic letters in puddled colors below their charred sign, each man-made sole of every shoe in all those closets. The laundromats, washers, round metal doors. But then Arco, Safeway, Walgreens, the library, everything they contained. How many miles of electrical wire and PVC pipes swirling into the once blue sky? How many linoleum acres? Not to mention the valley oaks, the ponderosas, all the wild hearts and all the tame, their bark and leaves and hoofs and hair and bones, their final cries and our neighbors, so many particular, precious, irreplaceable lives that despite ourselves, we're inhaling. Okay, all that man-made material. Now, times that by, I can't say 8 billion because not everyone has that, but at least 6 billion? Close. At least 5 billion? You see what we do as human beings? We use up the world, and then we burn it, and then we flood it. Okay? So that's it for tonight. Thank you for listening to Astrologer Climate Witness. These are shorter videos, but they're mostly, what I bring here is just for discussion. Okay? So try to look at it that way. I'm going to get probably back to doing a little more in-depth, more detailed videos, but I'm finding my way transitioning. So thank you again. Have a good night. Take care.